Hey, my name's Anne and welcome to my channel. Today we're actually going to be talking about something a little bit different. I am going to be sharing with you my favorite ADHD toys and sensory tools that I have found that have really helped me kind of to focus and to be able to get the things done that I want to, or to just help me with kind of overwhelm. So if you have ADHD, or if you simply want some resources to kind of deal with the five senses, I will be sharing some of those resources today, and I hope that you like it and stick around to see what I have. So the first things I'm actually going to share are, I feel like pretty well known maybe. They're going to be the fidget toys, and these are things that I first got when I was diagnosed, which would have been, maybe a year and a half ago. So I was diagnosed when I was 28. It was kind of a very surprising thing, but also at the same time, like, who else is a mid to late 29-year-old woman who was diagnosed during the pandemic because of TikTok? Like, I don't think I'm the only one, but one of the first things that I got was actually the fidget toys. So I'm going to share with you the two that I first got, and then kind of some of the others that I really enjoy. I got this one first. It was one, let me see if I can get it to focus here. I don't know if I can. We're going to try. But this is one of the fidgets that I have that I really enjoy. And it is basically this like bicycle like gear that kind of twists and turns, and you can fidget with it and like move it up your thumb. And it really is just good to keep your brain occupied while you're doing something. So if I teach online, when I teach, I'm usually doing some sort of a fidget to kind of keep my mind present. It actually helps me a lot with kind of focus and making sure that I am in the moment, because if I just sit there and like don't move, I can't, like, it's not gonna happen, or my brain will start to daydream and things. So I got this one, and then I got this one after, which obviously I made it a rainbow. Why would I not make it a rainbow? But it's basically the similar thing. It's from the same company. I'll go ahead and put the names for all the brands, or for all the companies that I've used. I'll put them on the side. I got them from these two from Etsy, and I really, really love this site. They have very similar pieces. You can customize them and things like that. But I really like this one in particular when I'm traveling, actually, because it doesn't fall off my thumb or finger, and I can just like turn it. And my husband's been known to steal this as well to help with his anxiety. And it's a really great way to kind of just occupy your mind without really thinking too much. So I really like this one as well. So I would say one of these, probably my favorite, is this one, just because you can wiggle it and kind of move it around like that. And it's very entertaining. My next thing is actually called Worry Stones. This is just like what they called them. I got one for my husband and one for myself. And surprisingly enough, like online, I thought it was going to be a little bit softer, maybe a little bit more like tacky. And it actually, when I got it, it's like this hard, I don't know if you can hear it, this hard rock that is very smooth, and it has the indents for fingers. And so you get kind of this like warpy bit, and it's really, really satisfying to actually, I hold it like this, and then I just rub like this. And what it enables my hands to do is very similar to the other, but if you want to just kind of sit and push on something, or to kind of get your stress out, I really like using this as a resource as well. My husband will take this one. He'll usually put it in his like fanny pack if he goes somewhere, and just kind of play with it in his hand, and it's really awesome. And I will use this for class. I'll sometimes use it for travel, but I'm always nervous that it will fall. So I tend to use it just when I'm like here and sitting and I just need something to like mess with. So I try that one out as well. These next two are actually things you might already have in your house. So there's the two brands that I like that I actually got specifically for fidgets, but I also did this on accident. I ended up, do you know this like that blue sticky tack that you used on the walls? I used to use it as a kid to like stick up art, and this is actually a ball of that. Since I am very bad about throwing things away, I tend to try to find a second life. And this is one of the things that I had kept from our old apartment. I had a bunch of herbs and spices like on my wall, and I had stuck them up with this. And so basically I took everything, and I just one day started like turning it into a cube while I was in therapy. and it was weirdly satisfying. And then my husband took this one too. So actually ADHD approved and anxiety approved, but really great to just kind of move this around. And this works. You don't have to get a specific product. Like if you have sticky tack, or maybe even it's like cheaper, you can get it. But I just really like making cubes out of it. So I'll just kind of do this, and it's very satisfying. And then I also have just a stone, which I literally found in my stuff. I don't even know how I ended up with it, but I did, and it does a very similar thing to the worry stone. You just kind of hold it and press on it. And I know people really love crystals and things like that, and I personally haven't gotten into them as much, but I really like kind of having something in my hand. I like the worry stone because it has the form in it, but this is a really nice alternative if you just happen to have something in the house, something smooth, and I like it that it's clear, so it's kind of pretty. So I'll use that as well. The next one that I have is actually kind of a combination between like a hands thing and like a chewing thing, which sounds really weird, but it's like oddly satisfying. I went ahead and I got one of these. I think it's called Choose Me on Etsy. And it's basically like silicone things. Like I have an Oreo, which was just funny to me. I really liked that one. And then I also have this one, which is really the one I tend to gravitate towards. I like it because you can put it around your neck, like wear it. Some people really like to have it on them all the time. I just have it in my little like basket of fidgets, but I really like it because it's actually really quite bendy. But it's thick, so I can bright it. I'm not gonna because I'm wearing lipstick and it's gonna get gross, but you can chew on it. It's actually it works well for like babies who are teething, but also for adults who really like to chew on stuff like really hard. It's really great for like if I'm concentrating on something. Sometimes I'll put like my tongue out and I don't want to do that, so I'll like put this in and kind of chew on it if it's clean. And I also just like to touch it, like it's good for squishing. So if you want to have something in your hand, I like this one for that because it's very textured, and you can really like, it can also be, that can be really gross for some people, but I find it really satisfying. So I like this one for more touching, and this one's a bit more for chewing. My next one is one you maybe wouldn't expect, and it's just a makeup brush. I have a couple of makeup brushes. I went through a phase where hyperfocus, no surprise, where I wanted to do makeup all the time and learn a bunch of stuff. And then I found kind of zero waste living and a little bit more sustainability, and I've been really sizing down a lot. But one of the things that I did keep was this brush and another one, which is really big. I have it over in I see it on my side here. But it's actually awesome for just feeling. Like, this sounds really weird, but I really love just pacing it over my fingers. And also this base is kind of squishy. But if you find just like a really soft makeup brush or any kind of a brush, I find that this is a really calming sensory sensation that has helped me a lot. Like if I just wanna like run my thumb over it. And then if I'm not sweating like I am right now in this 30-something degree heat, I would also like just paste it over my face. Maybe I got this from ASMR because I do love ASMR. Excuse you, I have two cats and they're bickering right now. What are you two doing? Shh. But I find this like super calming to have someone else do it. So I've also been known to like trace my husband's face, which I find really calming. And then also just doing it in my hand. So if I'm teaching a lesson or if I'm in a meeting or if I'm wanting to watch something that I really want to focus on, I can just do this. So I just kind of hang out with my brush. And yeah, that's something you probably have a brush around. If you don't, you might have a partner or a friend who uses makeup brushes. Just grab one of those and just kind of, you know, have some fun with it. Oh, that's so nice too. But yeah, I love a good makeup brush, floofy one. Okay, now I have two more things and we're almost done. This one is a new discovery, actually. These are called Loop, and they're earbuds, but they're more used for like sound dampening. And I really love these. I have two different ones. I have one, I think it's called the Experience, and then the other one is this one, and I can't remember the name, but I will put it over here. And this one is the one for sleeping, so it's gonna be much quieter, and it's actually made from like silicone, and it's these little earbuds. If you follow like ADHD people, you might have found these before. But I'm trying to get this to not focus on my face, but I don't know if I can. But I took out the extension. You can basically wear it just like this, and you go ahead and you put it in your ear like this. And it's super, super nice because it actually just kind of brings the sound down a little bit without having to fully block it out. And I like this one because it's soft, so I've tried it for sleeping. I do sleep next to a snorer, so that's nice. But also I find that the experienced ones are really, really nice for kind of louder public spaces. I keep them in my fanny pack, so if I'm in a space where there's a lot of music around and I'm trying to have a conversation with someone, or if I'm just really overwhelmed and I just kind of need everything to be a bit quieter, but also still be able to interact, I found that that's actually a really helpful resource. So I love these. It comes in an individual case and then it has a little loop. And so I put that on my little keychain and it works really well. This one just lives by my bed because, you know, sleeping. Yeah, I would say if you have ever had issues with like sound, this is a really, really nice resource to try out. And they have, I think, 3 different versions. They have one that's in the middle and it was actually sold out. I think that one's called the Engage when I first ordered. So I'm definitely going to be getting those to try it out. But yeah, this is just an incredible resource. My last one is actually taste related / like holding interest kind of taste smell. And it is fun drinks. That probably sounds really weird, but if you are anything like me, any sort of neurodivergent where you have like a bottle of water, you have like some sort of a drink like coffee, and then like you can have another fun drink, so like a juice or a tea or something. And I find that mine too are, my smell is coffee. If I ever make coffee, there's something about the smell that really just like pulls me in and it makes me want to be in the moment. And it really helps when I am wanting to start a project, or in the mornings when I get up, I make some coffee, I make some breakfast, and I come into my classes with a cup of coffee, and it really helps kind of sensory. Madam, I have a kitten. She is hitting my camera post. But basically, it's really, really helps for me to be able to kind of get into the moment, get into focus. And so having something smell like coffee or like tea, here you go. Okay. Having something like tea or coffee or like a mocktail or anything like that is something that is really good for me. And I also tend to find that if it's in a fun cup, I'm like even more likely. And so I'm going to admit to something here. This was a slight obsession of mine that I know from like my sustainability side is not the greatest, but it just makes me happy inside, and I use them all. And so here we go. This is what I have. These are all Keep Cups. If you have never heard of Keep Cup, I love them. I have actually some of the older models. If you look back on my YouTube videos from like 2017, I have a lot of these cups because I love color and I love the flexibility of them. I love the sensation of the pieces, the silicone band. And then the size is 12, I think. I do have all these 12s, and then I have a little baby. And I love this one. This is tiny. This is perfect for like my little like coffee, if I make a fancy coffee, or if I want to have a little bit of juice or something like a fresh juice and things like that. So do you need all of these? Absolutely not. But do I personally have a lot of fun, and it's great for to-go cups. There's tabs. Also, I'm clumsy and I knock stuff over, so having a lid is never a bad thing. And I just really, really like being able to kind of mix and match and make a fun cup for a fun drink, which is great for sensory and for like taste. I hope all of these things were kind of helpful. I find that kind of addressing multiple senses at one time is really what is helpful for me to be able to focus and do what I need to do and to de-stress. And so if it's something like a fun drink and a little fidget spinner, or if it's a worry stone and like the earplugs, whatever it is, like mix and match, find what works for you. And I really hope that this was helpful. If you want to add any of your favorite fidget toys down below, or anything that you use kind of touchy, soundy, tasty, smelly, that works. I know a couple of people really love essential oils. I also love them, but I don't tend to use them as much. I'm not as much of like a smell person besides coffee. But yeah, so if there's anything you really like, throw it down below. I'd love to hear from you about your favorites. And yeah, there's my cat. Hopefully you are having a great day, and I will see you very soon. Bye.